This is from our nest 23 second shift. Okay, it is a multiple select question. For a b greater than 0, let f of a comma b be the integral from a to b mod of sine 2 pi x with respect to x. Then f of 10 comma 11 is equal to 2 into f of 0 comma 1 upon 2. F of 41 by 4 comma 43 by 4 is equal to 1 upon 2 into f of 1 upon 2 comma 1. F of 1 upon 8 comma 1 upon 4 is equal to f of 1 upon 2, and f of 41 upon 4 comma 43 upon 4 is equal to 2 by 3 f of 0 comma 3 by 4. Observe that the left hand side of option B and option D same. Okay. Now the integral that we are given is a to b mod of sine 2 pi x. Obviously the final answer will depend on what you write as a and what you write as b. Correct? Secondly, we have a mod function, and then inside mod we have got sine of 2 pi x. Now one thing that we must know about functions, okay, in particular periodic trigonometric functions, is that if let's start with sin x. So if sin x's smallest possible positive period is 2 pi, okay, when it comes to sine of nx, the period becomes 2 pi by n and not 2 pi. Okay. So if n is greater than 1, then the one cycle of the graph, one wavelength, it actually shrinks. And if n is less than 1, because the denominator is less than 1, the graph actually stretches. Okay, so please remember this important fact. So in this particular case, when it comes to sine 2 pi x, okay, what will be the fundamental period or the smallest possible period? It will be 2 pi upon 2 pi, this one, and therefore the fundamental period is equal to 1. Raise your hands if you understood this. Okay. Fine. Now let us take care of the mod part. Okay? Look here. So if I were to draw the graph of sine of 2 pi x, okay, if I were to draw the graph of sine 2 pi x, let's say between 0 and 2, I would go about drawing the graph like this, right, because of the period being 1. Now when it comes to mod of sine 2 pi x, mod of sine 2 pi x, then what will happen? This graph will remain, but this graph will get flipped. This graph will remain as it is, and this graph will get flipped. Do you follow this or no? When you take mod of any function, what happens? All the positive values remain as they were, but all the negative values get multiplied by negative, and that's the typical of a modulus function. Have you understood this? Okay, which means, can you now tell me the period of mod of sine 2 pi x? What would the period of mod of sine 2 pi x be? It will not be 1. It will actually be half of it. Okay, did you understand this?
Yes.
Okay, so this analysis, if you do correctly, then you can easily decide which of the options is correct and which of the options is incorrect. Okay, let us start with option A. Okay, let us start with option A, wherein on the left hand side the lower limit is 10 and the upper limit is 11. Okay, so if this is our 10 and this is our 11, okay, 10 and 11, can you tell me how many cycles of mod of sine 2 pi x would be there between 10 and 11? Do you agree that there will be 2 cycles?
Yes.
Because of time period being half, and this is the gap of 1 unit, so there will be I would say 2 cycles. Okay, 2 cycles. Now when it comes to 0 and 1 upon 2, 0 and 1 upon 2, how many cycles will be there? Only 1 cycle would be there, because that's the period of mod of sine 2 pi x. But you are multiplying it by 2. You are multiplying it by 2. So will option A be right? Yes, A will be right, because this area equals 2 times this area. Any questions on option A? Yes, no?
So we have to be doing whatever we did for option A for the rest of the options.
Exactly. Let's now go for B. Now it's 41 by 4 to 43 by 4. Okay. Now we may not be able to correctly locate the starting point of the curve at 41 by 4. We can still make some valuations. So suppose we subtract 41 by 4 from 43 by 4. Okay, 43 minus 41 is 2, so that's 1 by 2, which essentially means no matter where we start, okay, on the curve, we would still reach 1 cycle, right, because it is half distance away. Okay, understood? Which means this integral from 41 by 4 to 43 by 4, this is also going to cover 1 cycle. Okay, got this idea? 43 by 4 to 41 by 4 to 43 by 4. This integral will also be covering 1 cycle of mod of sine 2 pi x. Raise your hands if you got this. Okay. Now please tell me, will it be equal to half of f of 1 upon 2 into 1?
No.
It won't be. Yes, because look, when it comes to 1 upon 2 to 1, it is actually 1 complete cycle, right? This is actually 1 complete cycle. But according to them, or rather according to option B, what is happening according to option B? They are actually having it that half one, that half part, and that is something that we definitely don't want. Correct? Half is something that we definitely don't want. So can option B be right? No, B cannot be right. Have you understood this?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. 41 by 4 to 43 by 4, do you agree that 43 by 4, look here, 43 by 4 is 41 by 4 plus half, correct?
Yes.
Now what is the property of periodic functions? This is the property of periodic functions. Do you agree?
Yes.
So that will eventually be f of 41 by 4. So that covers 1 cycle, right? What I meant is, okay, if you want, we can substitute x as 41 by 4 to actually find out what that is. I think that will again be equal to okay, wait, 41 by 4, right? Let's do it here. I think it will be 1 or minus 1 sine 2 pi into 41 by 4 So that is 1. So it will start from peak. Okay, it will start from the peak. Okay. So it would be something like this. Got it? But the total area due to symmetry would again be equal to area under one cycle. Is it clear? Aditya?
Yes.
Huh. But then if you go to right hand side, 1 upon 2 to 1 is correct. It is covering one cycle. But they're saying it's half of that. Now that can't really be true, isn't it? That cannot really be true, because half into that would be only this area or only this area. So not the total one. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We are just plotting the curves and then we are dividing it respectively at its given, right?
Exactly. That's the only way I see to solve the problem because of the involvement of mod. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's get rid of option D as well. Because we have already done it for the left hand side. All we have to do is we have to do it for the right hand side. Okay. Now look. So 0 here, then 1 upon 4 here, 1 upon 2 here, and 3 by 4 here. Okay. Now look here. When it comes to the period, the period being half, this is one cycle and this is half cycle. Okay, one cycle and half cycle. Okay. So look now, if we call this green area to be A, suppose if we call this green area to be A, then f of 41 by 4 comma 43 by 4 will be 2a. Correct? It would be 2a. But the same green area is being considered thrice here. Once, twice, and thrice. Raise your hands if you agree to this. Correct? Which means what would be the right hand side now? It will be 2 by 3 into 3a. It will be 2 by 3 into 3a. Now, are these sides equal to each other? Yes. So option D is right. Correct? Understood, everyone? Why D is right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's now go finally to option C. Now you clearly see that C is not right. Okay, clearly see that C is not right because look here, 1 to 2. Okay, 1 to 2 basically covers 2 cycles. Correct? 1 to 2 is covering 2 cycles because period is half. But 1 upon 8 to 1 upon 4, how is that doing? This is 1 upon 2. Okay, so this is one cycle between 0 and 1 upon 2. But we have got a smaller interval, so the area will definitely be smaller. Okay, 1 upon 4 will be here and 1 upon 8 will be somewhere here. So clearly C is not going to be right. Okay, so what are the correct options? A is correct and D is correct. Any doubt?
No doubts.
No doubts. Do you want us to verify this on Desmos? If yes, we will quickly do that. Yes.
Sir, in this question, can we just put the limits and then solve, like we have done typical integration problem solving?
Yes, but how are you going to deal with mod then? You need to decide whether it is positive, negative. and then accordingly I have
Okay,
to.
so I will be breaking the piecewise and then checking it
Yes,
again.
yes, 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 yes. No issues. You can do. You can always go for it. There is nothing wrong there. I have thought of solving this problem by graphical method because it is more intuitive, and we don't really need to integrate, right? That's why I went for it. Okay. Now let's go for 2 into integral 0 to half sine of 2 pi x t. They both are same, so option A is correct. Okay, option A is correct. Now let's go to option B. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have erased that. Sorry. Just change the limits here. 43 by 4, 41 by 4. Okay. And this is a half, lower limit 1 by 2, upper limit 1, and you can clearly see that it's half there, so B is not right. Let's see if D is right. 2 by 3, 0 to 3 by 4, same value, so D is right. Now how about C? Okay, how about C? Go to 1 upon 8 here. Okay, 1 upon 8 there, 1 upon 4 there, and in option C's right side it is 1 to 2. Okay, so clearly they are not same. So whatever results that were drawn from the graphs, they have matched. So see, critical step according to me in this problem is to understand how the periodicity works if the function inside is not x but some multiple of x. Okay, if you had understood that, then the problem was doable without integration also, by just knowing the way the graph of sine theta and the graph of mod of any function behaves. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one now. No issues, right, with this
One
one?
question.
uh,
Uh, in multiple select questions, were there partial markings or did you have to get everything right to get the
um, no partial markings as far as I remember. Only you would get marks only if you get all options right or whichever are correct.